Hey, everybody, it's 11 o'clock Central on Wednesday morning, and I'm Dr. John Sherk, and that means this is Brown Bag Lunch, where I bring you whatever I can bring you to add value to your life as a technician or one who loves a technician or one who manages an air conditioning technician. Okay, so today I want to just kind of encourage you to do a little bit of experimenting with the AI models. This sounds like, well, I mean, we've been hearing about this on the news a lot already. Okay. So the chat GPT is the one that gets the most kind of noise on TV. These are websites you go to, you create a login and you use it either on your phone or on their website. And it has a box where you put in a prompt and make a request of the AI bot, and it then responds to your request. Okay. Now, the reason I'm saying this, I am there. I'm heavily using it now in my business, and what I'm noticing is the tough barrier to entry with these is people don't know how to get started, right? And so, and there are some new things coming out now, like for example, a marketing AI bot that, let's say you've got a list of 3,000 email addresses, and then they will add, if you add the LinkedIn profile of that person with the email address, the next bulk email that goes out, that will be customized to each person based on their LinkedIn profile, stuff like that, right? Um, but the difficulty is just kind of getting your feet wet, right? So what I'm encouraging y'all to do is, rather than waiting until you see this thing, and if I could use it, I know automatically it's going to save me time. The leap is too big, right? Just get in there and try them. Now there's three main ones. There's one I'm going to recommend. There's three main ones. There's ChatGPT 4. Okay. That one is a nonprofit, but it's heavily connected to Microsoft. You're hearing about Elon Musk right now in the news, but it's really heavily connected to Microsoft. There's Bard, which is the formal Google AI bot. And then there's the third one is called Claude.ai. That third one, Claude.ai, that's the one I use. I don't crunch a lot of numbers with it, but most of what I do want to generate are words, and I just like what I get better from Claude AI. And the way it works is you can take a fairly complicated spreadsheet or outline, or if you even have like a sales script currently that your guys use in the field or anything like that, you can put it as an attachment to the bot and then say whatever you want to ask of it. You summarize this in 100 words, or you can rewrite something at a different grade reading level. Okay. Or there's no end to the things you can do with it. But the point is, start doing things with it that feel like you're just playing with it, right? Otherwise, you won't really get started, because you won't feel confident to pull it out in the field and use it, because you don't really know what to do with it, right? So things like this, have it on your phone, go to the grocery store and say, write me a recipe for some hot and sour soup, let's say. Okay. And it'll give you the recipe. And then you could say, rewrite the recipe so that this recipe is keto, and it'll rewrite the recipe for you. Right. The way these AI bots work is you go in, there's a more complicated thing here. And if you guys give me some feedback that you want to hear more about this, I'll do more about it on these. But you go in and you tell the AI bot, you are blank, meaning you are an accountant, you are an air conditioning technician, you are a customer, you are whatever. What's their persona? What are they responding as? Right. And then you make your requests, and there's more complicated ways to do that, but you make your requests. And then when it doesn't give you exactly what you need, you just tell it, do it again, but include this, or do it again, but account for this, or do it again, but don't include milk, or whatever. It can be anything. Right. Um, I use it for things like if I have to draft an email that's like, you know how that is. You can sit for an hour trying to put together an email. I just ask the AI bot to do it. It does it well for me almost every time. Okay. So, but however you do it, now is the time, right? Don't wait. Don't Don't feel like you're going to wait until somebody else figures out how to use it really well in air conditioning, and then it'll come to you. It'll almost be too late at that point, because this thing is moving really fast, and the people who end up using it, it's not going to be the collective same use. It's going to be your specific use, because it's going to be customized to you. And as these things learn, they learn in kind of a kind of silo based on the questions you ask it. So as you continue asking questions in that silo, it's learning from you progressively about you and about your company or whatever you want it to do. I know there's some fear about privacy. The what none of them do. Like if you used it and you say, "I'm the train franchise in St. Louis," and then someone can go in there and say, "Tell me the numbers for the train franchise in St. Louis," it won't spit it back out like that. It's just using your content to learn more. Okay. And I also know some people feel like, "Oh crap, this thing is the end of the world," or whatever. Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. But it's here anyway. I mean, the one the one thing I can tell you is going to be true 3 years from now, guaranteed. It's going to be 3 years from now. 3 years from now, it's going to be 3 years later. And so wherever it's at then, you'll be 3 years behind. So you might as well get started. Okay. So I encourage you to use it. And if you're in my podcast group on Facebook, show other people what you're doing. Right. I mean, unless you want to create a competitive advantage by how you use it, then, keep it to yourself. But put stuff out there. Start talking about how you're using AI to generate. I mean, I'm doing things like I'm generating advertising, social media posts, email stuff. There's tons of things you can do with it. Okay. But you won't get started with it at all by waiting until you have a proper use and it works and then it happens. It doesn't work that way. It starts with you just fiddling with it. And you put in there, write me a song about my company in the style of the Beatles or something silly like that. But you'll see it start going. And the more you see what it can do, the more you'll go, wow. And then things you didn't even think of asking it to help you with come to mind. And then you start getting real efficiencies coming out of it. And it becomes of use. So again, I'm sorry to the people who are the doomsdayers about AI. I don't feel that way about it. It's an enormous help to me in my business. I'm starting to do some workshops with clients on how to integrate AI into all their processes. I have one coming up next month. That's all we're talking about all day long. All the departments come in, we're reviewing all the processes and where can AI begin to add value, right? So that's my word for you this week. If you're a technician, same thing. The time will soon be coming when it can, you can attach a wiring diagram to the AI bot and ask it certain questions and it will answer them, right? So be able to start using it now so that you're not way behind when it starts becoming more mainstream. Okay, that's all. Dr. John Sherk. I really think this one was not all kind of exciting and whatever, but this one is a high priority. I would place it top 1 or 2 things you should be doing right now in your own development and the development of your company, because the speed at which this is beginning to take root, you'll find yourself left behind by it, and someone will be way ahead of you competitively if you don't at least kind of play with it now. Okay, I'm Dr. John Sherk. This has been Brown Bag Lunch. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you next week.